if you recall or you watched the previous videos, we spoke about JPY. We analyzed the potential opportunities in JPY, and I also did mention that there were other pairs. There were other pairs that had potentially good setups that would closely monitoring, and some of these um, pairs will be revealed in today's video. I shall be revealing them, and in addition to revealing them, I will speak about possible entry points and exit points. So, in order not to waste your time, let's get straight to business. The first on my list this morning is Eurjpy. As you can see on the screen, Eurjpy has also been in a bearish mood for quite some time, and after the impulse, it went into a correction phase that lasted for close to half a year to 6 months. It went into this correction phase, to be precise, on the 5th of August, the 5th of August 2024, and it was in that correction phase till last week Friday, until it broke out of it last week Friday. It was in that correction phase. That's a period of 6 months that it was in that correction phase. And this money is doing us a favor of retesting the lower boundary trend line labeled B and D. Is retesting it, and after the retest, we are confident that the trend will continue, because if you are familiar and with this type of pattern, you will understand that after an impulse, we have a correction that takes the shape of a triangle. It means the trend will continue. Triangle is a continuation pattern. Maybe not in all cases, but most likely it will continue in that same direction. The trend will continue, and that is why we're confident that the trend will continue. And if you have a trading plan, you should be looking for an entry point for Eurjpy. If you do not have, drop your comment in the comment section. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you want in terms of entries. Then we take it off from there. Then the possible exit points will be the lower boundary trend line labeled AC. The lower boundary trend line, let me point this out. The peer need not touch point C, but we're confident that the exit point will be around this trend line. It may be exactly on the trend line, it may be just above it, may be just below it, but at least our entry point will be around here. But we continue to monitor it, and if there are needs for an update on any of these pairs, you can be rest assured that we're going to speak about it. That is Eurjpy. Let's move on to Cadjpy. Cadjpy is another pair that takes the shape of a triangle. I mean, the correction phase was also a triangle. After the impulse, it also went into a correction phase which lasted for months, just like Eurojpy. But it broke out of its own correction phase much earlier than Eurojpy. After breaking out of it, is doing us a favor of retesting either the previous lower boundary trend line held B, D, or is retesting the previous support, and we're expecting it to convert the previous support to a resistance. And if that happens, it means only one thing, that the trend will continue. And if, as you can see, also we have a position on Cadjpy, where there is hardly any of these pairs that we don't have a position on, because this appears that we've been monitoring for months, since last year, actually. So that's about Cadjpy. Let's speak briefly again on AUDJPY. AUDJPY seems to take a slightly different shape, pattern, different from Cadjpy and Eurjpy that we analyzed earlier. But regardless, the motive is still the same. we had an impulse, then we had a correction phase, and it broke out of the correction phase. Then we're confident that the trend will continue, and it's retesting the previous support this morning, as you can see on your screen. So that is ELLIOT-JPY. We also have a position on ELLIOT-JPY, and at the end of the week, we should be able to see how far we've gone. Let's look at the last but not the least pair this morning, which will make it four pairs that we've analyzed. Let's look at GBPJY. GBPJY is another pair that behaves exactly the same way as others, especially Eurjpy and CAJPY. There was a correction phase that lasted for months as well, and it's retesting the previous support or testing the boundary trend line level BD, and then continuation is expected to the trend is expected to continue, because we had a triangle pattern, which is a continuation pattern. That there was a correction phase that took the shape of a triangle is not the only reason why we're considering a bearish scenario. There are other reasons. There are other reasons. If you want to understand the other reasons why we're considering a bearish scenario, you can drop your comment in the comment section and we add it to our group. Then we can take it up from there. That is GBPJY. Let me quickly chip this in. This was not considered before doing this video, but popped up in my mind to just quickly add this. Look at GBPJY that we're currently looking at on our screen. Take a look at it really well. That's JPY. You will see that there is almost no difference in terms of their shape or their patterns, and that I attribute to possibly to the fact that both Euro and GBP they are in the European zone, you know. So that is probably why they take the same shape. And that's about that. So far we've had Eurjpy, we looked at CAJPY, we looked at the JPY, and then lastly we looked at GBPJY. If you have questions, drop your questions in the comment section. I'll provide an answer to your question. So that is what I intended to share with you this morning, this afternoon, beg your pardon, this afternoon. So do have yourself a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.